think the third time this week. Third time, I believe. We did some gym rolls on it. Then we played around with the Demogorgon in Guild Wars yesterday. And now here we are. This is kind of like a Beast My Base type video is what this is going to be. It's going to be a lot of talking about heroes, what heroes to use for what scenario, and things like that. So if you're wanting a whole bunch of gameplay, you might not want to watch this one, or stay tuned for the next one. If you kind of are interested in how to grow a newer pay-to-play account, this is going to be the video for you. This could be some good info for free-to-play players as well, but it's definitely going to be focused on newer pay-to-play accounts like this, because I see accounts like this fairly frequently. One of the biggest problems of... Thank you, Joey, for the subscription there. I appreciate that. Guys, if you subscribe, if you hit that subscribe button, it does pop up on stream. If you donate, it does pop up on stream. If you donate while I'm not streaming, I will make sure it pops up at the start of my next stream. So there you guys go. But anyways, I see a lot of accounts like this. Not a lot, but I see this fairly frequently. Probably once or twice a month. I get a message from someone where they say, hey, I'm a fairly new player. I wonder if we can even see how long he's been playing through here. Well, I'm sure he's past the 90-day mark. Where would it be? 30,000 might, gold volts. I'm sure he's past the 90-day mark, which I think is the last one if I remember correctly. Yeah, log in for 90 days. Damn, too bad that's not longer so you can know exactly how long you've been playing. But anyways, fairly new accounts that have amazing heroes and amazing talents. They've got all the perfect heroes and all the perfect talents. Thank you, Dustin, for the subscription. But they're lacking in a lot of departments where it comes towards like, what hero should I be working on? What hero should I be leveling on? What hero should I be using for this game mode or that game mode? So take a look at this account. It's got all the heroes, all of them. It's got all the backups for evoing them, double evoing, everything like that. It's just, it's a low might account, so it's got to level up. He did change his Bulwark, or his War God Demogorgon over to Bulwark, which is a good upgrade, I think, because especially now we can use that War God crest set. But take a look at this freaking awesome hero right here, this Demogorgon. It was so much fun to play with. So anyways, without, I don't know, just talking about the account too much, let's take a look at where we're at on this account. One of the most important things that a lot of newer players don't realize is the importance of Lost Realm. Lost Realm is incredibly important. You have to focus on Lost Realm. Make sure you're collecting your blue crystals. Make sure you're going through and using up. You don't ever want to be full on stamina in Lost Realm. I make this mistake a lot. I let my Lost Realm get completely full and I end up wasting it a lot. But I've been playing for 3 years, so my account's already fairly far up there. And even then, it hurts me that I'm not collecting the blue crystals, that I'm letting this fill up. So make sure you're doing Lost Realm. Inscriptions are key. They are very important for might boosting. They're very important for just about everything. Hitting these inscription buttons. You want all of your heroes to be as high up in inscription as possible. I like to take all of them up to 80 before I take any of the others up to past 80, really. So you can see we got lots of 70s, lots of 60s. The easy way to boost might is inscriptions, guys. You just do your Lost Realm, you gather up the blue crystals, you spend some mana. So look, we got a lot of just level 20 inscription here. This is a lot of might that can be boosted right there. Would you say the majority of the players are free to play or pay to play, as in have Spirit Mage or not? I would say the majority of the players in Castle Clash are free to play, like the vast majority. But the majority of the people that are going to be searching out the YouTube videos, that are going to be looking for top guilds, that are going to be trying to become something in the game, most of those are pay to play, even if it's just slightly pay to play. Yeah, I'd say the majority are $100 or less. Absolutely, I could agree with that. All right, so step one, make sure you're doing your Lost Realm. A lot of people forget about Lost Realm, like me. I'm guilty of that too. Don't do that. Also, do not let your Here Be Monsters go full, and do not let your dungeons go full. Those are huge mistakes. You're losing out on a lot of resources when you do that. This used to be a bigger issue back when dungeons were only 5 at a time. You could only do 5 at a time. Now you can do 20, so it's a lot easier to not forget your dungeons. But definitely do that. If you are even just a brand new account, baby accounts can get to this dungeon, the 40 shard dungeon, the 39 shard dungeon. They can easily get there with just a couple legendary heroes. I have a lot of Smurfs, guys, that are like 5,000 to 15,000 might that are already there. So it's very easy to do. Brand new accounts can do it, especially with inscriptions. Back when I started playing, you did not have inscriptions, you did not have pets, you did not have a lot of the stuff that you have now. So you couldn't do it, but now it's super easy to do it. My day is going great, thank you. You just got Spirit Mage today. Congratulations, Adam. That's awesome. No, I don't have Arctica. No. Okay, another thing, and see, he's switching guilds right now because he's coming to join the White Knights family at the moment. But guilds are very important, especially if you can get a guild that is doing well in torch battles. That's 800 shards, what, twice a week? That's a lot of shards for leveling up your heroes. That's a lot of really good stuff there. He has a lot of shards right now, 36,000. I just used 10,000 shards for there. Okay, so let's talk about specific heroes for, yeah, free to play as well. A lot of my free to play accounts are all the way up to the 40 shard dungeon already. Very good. I have 100 Arctica Soulstones. Yeah, there you go. I'm your first follower. That's awesome. I'm glad I could do that for you. Guilds are very important. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that might be young. Come on now. All right, so heroes for dungeons. Obviously, you're going to want to work on your Pumpkin Duke and Cupid if you have them. Valentina if you have Valentina as well. But Pumpkin Duke and Cupid, especially for newer accounts, they are... You can't go wrong with working on Pumpkin Duke and Cupid. They are just two heroes that you absolutely can't go wrong with working on. So definitely, if you have Pumpkin Duke and Cupid, put resources into them. They're good heroes to go with. Demogorgon as well, great hero to put resources in. He's going to help you out in guild wars if you're in a good guild like that, as well as a lot of, I think even dungeons, taking out the some of the dungeons where the heroes are the biggest problem. Those are going to be there. Dread Drake, I don't know. He's one of those heroes. He's very useful at high-level gameplay. He's not really one that you need to focus on giving a whole bunch of stuff to. There's other heroes that are better. A lot of people will say, oh, but Dread Drake is beast. He's amazing. Yes, but for newer accounts, Dread Drake isn't as helpful as a lot of other heroes. There's so many other heroes that you could pick as your main 6 that just give you a slight edge over Dread Drake. But Dread Drake, if he is one of your better heroes, definitely give him love. He's a great hero for that. Minotaur, if you have Minotaur, absolute great hero. Definitely work on your Minotaur. He's going to be great for your dungeons, for raiding. He's going to make things really quick. If you have a 5 Revite Minotaur or a 5 War God Minotaur, both of those are great options. Guys, this account has all the talents. I mean, take a look at this. He's got both the 5 Revite and the 5 War God Minotaur, just like my account does. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Ares, of course, is one that you want to work on as well, but he's kind of a 5/5 Revite or bust hero. If you get that 5/5 Revite for him, he's going to be super helpful in a lot of scenarios, but he's not going to... I don't know, but he's not really a hero that's vital for growing an account. He's good for a lot of the pay-to-play modes, Lost Battlefield, Arena, Lost Realm even a little bit. When you're doing attacks there, it can be really helpful. But you're not going to be using your Ares in dungeons. You're not really going to be using your Ares in Here Be Monsters or Lost or Lava Isle or things like that, or Mesa. You don't really use Ares for that stuff. So for those, you're going to be using your Pumpkin Duke. You're going to be using your Cupid. Yeah. Ooh. Am I going to start a free-to-play series? I will. You guys have been begging me to do it, so I will. Absolutely. Okay, Multanica. If you get Multanica on new accounts, like brand new accounts, DD can be important. Yes, he can be young if you don't have other heroes. But I would say, like, for brand new accounts, if you have Gulam... Okay, well, we're talking about pay-to-play here. young is the difference here. If you're free to play and you get a Dreadrake, absolutely, he's going to be a great hero to level up. He's going to be a great hero to work on. You're absolutely right. But we're talking about an account like this where you're a brand new account, but you're heavily pay to play, so you're going to have all the heroes. In that situation, Dreadrake isn't really one you need to work on because, for example, here be monsters. You're going to be using Pumpkin Duke, you're going to be using Cupid, you're going to be using Vlad, you're going to be using Gulum. You know what I mean? That's the main four right there. You're not going to be using Dreadrake for Here Be Monsters. Brand new baby free-to-play account. If it gets a Dreadrake, absolutely it's going to help for Here Be Monsters. But we're talking pay-to-play here, not free-to-play. Not free-to-play. Top 6, yeah, absolutely. Pumpkin Duke, Gulum, Cupid or Val, of course, and then your damage heroes, the Vlad, the Gulum. I think Gulum fits in a lot of those situations. Santa Boom can be great for working up lower level Here Be Monsters. He eventually gets switched out though for the scatter. Like the scatter Multanicas here are very important for higher level Here Be Monsters. But he's against the Multanica and the Arctica. While they can be very situationally helpful, they are not ones that you need to focus on. We're talking about what heroes do they need to focus on. Gulum. Gulum is used in almost every game mode. Focus on Gulum. Absolutely. Focus on Pumpkin Duke. Focus on Cupid. Minotaur for your dungeons, for your raiding, for a lot of stuff there. A brand new account that's heavily pay to play needs to be focusing on dungeons before really anything else. The higher you can get in dungeons, the better. You can see he's already got Insane 110 done on his way up. Thank you for the subscription there, Michael. I'm not really paying attention to that, so if I miss something, tell me in chat, guys. I can barely hear it, so I might miss it. You can see he's working his way up to dungeon. This is a 100k might account that's on his way up into the dungeons, and I think he can definitely get it, especially with the Minotaur. He has the War God Minotaur. He's gonna get it. Let's see, oh, it's Guild Wars. Oh, he's not in a guild, so it doesn't matter. Let's go see if we can do a dungeon for him. We want some heroes that I think are going to be in here. Maybe I want Skull Knight to tank. I don't know if that's his War God or his Bulwark Minotaur, so. Or War God or Revite Minotaur. Okay, so that was his War God Minotaur. That was in there. We'll give it a try. So we got Minotaur, Gulum, Vlad. We probably don't want Vlad. Ooh, I don't know who we want though. Trixie might be good for dungeons. We can try that. Dreadrake to tank, Pumpkin Duke, Cupid. Alright, let's try this. I'm doing pretty good tonight, Parker. Thank you. Ooh, I remember that. Actually, this one was a really tough one, if I remember now. It's the soccer field. You see that? We got a goalie, the center line. I don't know. I thought it was pretty amusing. Okay, let's give it a try. See if we can do this. No! Okay, I failed miserably. That's my bad. It's been a while. It's a lot harder to do dungeons with a mouse than it is when you have your thumbs on the screen, guys. I promise that. I promise that. Is this growing into a second account for me? No, he's got an awesome little account. Just needs some help. Okay. What else should we need to focus on? So, Gulum, Vlad, both of those are great choices to pump resources into. The Minotaur, Cupid, Pumpkin Duke. If you got the Demogorgon... See, I don't want to say Demogorgon, though, but maybe that's just because I haven't really leveled him up yet. Okay, Guild War Heroes, though. Guild War Heroes, and that's something that this account suffers a little bit on, is the Guild War Heroes. He has the Demogorgon, so he's pretty good. But if he didn't have Demogorgon, it would be definitely hurting in Guild Wars. So Skull Knight is definitely one to focus on for Guild Wars. Cupid, of course. And then Triantar is kind of the silent the sneaky little guy that a lot of people forget about for Guild Wars for lower might accounts. Triantar is huge. Look at this. He revives your team, giving your team a whole nother chance to go at it. Especially if you have a 5 revive Triantar like this guy, you can control that revive, which is huge. You only need Demogorgon for Guild War. Yes, MVZ, at your level, absolutely, I can agree with that. But at this level, as we found out in yesterday's Guild War video, he can't solo it. We tried it. We tried yesterday. I was on this account for Guild Wars. If you want to go check out that video, you're more than welcome to. But we tried soloing Guild Wars with his Demogorgon, and it's just too low level. So yes, you can pump it in. You can pump the resources into it, but all you're really going to be using Demogorgon for is Guild Wars for the most part. Defense, Guild Wars attacks, maybe in dungeons. I don't know. I just don't really see Demogorgon being used much else. Lava, maybe. But as we found out in yesterday's video, this Demogorgon cannot solo Guild Wars. He's just too low level just yet. Absolutely high end. I can agree with you 100%. I did not mean to drop that magic. Part of the problems of using the mouse right there. Yeah, see, he's not even going to be able to take this one out. That Skull Knight's going to walk over and just one-shot the Demogorgon. Watch. Okay, I'm going to exit before Demo dies. Thank you, Gaming Vex Knight, for making it to the stream, man. That's awesome. Alright, bases. Bases. This is a Guild Wars base. A lot of people use this for 6 inches. What? No, it says 6 foot. 6 foot. That's only one single mark. Inches is the double mark. What's up, Croatia? Alright. Go back in here. So we were talking about Guild War heroes other than Demogorgon. So Pixie is the one that this one is really truly missing. I think this is his highest Pixie right here, completely unleveled. Also for might, guys, take all of the skills up to 3 of 10 if you're trying to boost might. 3 of 10, level 80 inscription. That's going to be your first goal for might boosting. 3 of 10, level 80 inscription for everyone. Yeah, that is his highest level Pixie. So you can use Reaper instead of Pixie. A lot of people like using Reaper instead of Pixie, but this Reaper is not much better leveled up. I prefer Pixie because Pixie also heals, so a lot of times she can tank a lot better than Reaper, because Pixie heals not just her, but everyone else. Well, some of everyone else. Phantom King, I don't think is one that really needs to be focused on. He's a great hero situationally, but for growing your account, there's others that you should focus on more. Bulwark is good for Vlad. Yes, it is, absolutely. Yes, Amy, that would be wonderful. I would love that. So yeah, Pixie is key for snipe teams, absolutely. If you're in a non-talkative guild, you should probably just join a better guild, right? So that you can grow and learn from people rather than just being in a guild that just kind of sits there and does nothing for you. A lot of people join guilds really low might, then they decide that they like the game and they start growing their accounts and stuff like that. But yes, PK is good for Lava and Mesa, but that's not something that you need to focus on as a growing account. There's other heroes that you can use that are more versatile for other things. Yes, I do roll for others, absolutely. Trixie Treat. See, she's another one. I think she's a great hero and can definitely... You'll definitely not do that. Damn it, Amy. Way to get my hopes up. But situational again. And I think she hasn't quite learned her best spot yet. Best blue hero in the game. Ice Demon by far. Ice Demon by far. You have a level 100 Santa Boom and you have one in your warehouse. Should you wait to evolve it or just use it? I don't know. Do you need to evolve your Santa Boom? If you need to, then do it. Why wouldn't you? Don't spend shards on evolving it. I don't recommend using shards, especially for pay-to-play accounts. Don't use shards for evolving it. Medusa, great hero, but situational. Destroyer, don't put resources in Destroyer. It's junk. It's junk. You'll never use it. The few people who do use Destroyer, even they have a hard time finding reasons to use it. So, absolutely don't waste resources in leveling up Destroyer. Death Knight is too situational. Don't waste resources in it. Immortep, if you're free to play, Immortep is huge. If you're pay to play, forget about Immortep. Useless. Snowzilla, same thing, too situational. Thunder God, same thing, too situational for pay-to-play accounts. For free-to-play accounts, a Thunder God can help you out a lot at very, very low levels. Absolutely he can. Thunder God and Immortep are huge for low levels. If you're pay-to-play, you have the Golem. Forget about Druid. There's no reason to level up your Druid if you have Golem. Warlock can be very helpful for Guild Wars raiding and for pay-to-play aspects, so that's Arena, which I don't recommend trying to become big in Arena for anybody. But a Revite Warlock can be huge for Arena, for Lost Battlefield, which means Fame, and Fame is huge. For Lost Realm, for all sorts of things like that. War God Warlocks are amazing for Guild Wars. No reason to level Druid if you have a Golem and you're a pay-to-play account, because honestly, once you get above a certain level, your Druid is essentially useless. It's too situational. What heroes are not situational? Well, any of the ones that you're going to use in almost every scenario. Golem, Vlad, Ares is pretty useful in almost every situational. Pumpkin Duke, Cupid, Valentina, all of those are going to be used in almost every situation. So there's just, what I'm saying is that instead of spreading out your focus over all of these heroes, focus on the ones that are going to get you further, and then you can work on the ones that are situational in the sense that they won't be used in every game mode. But when you do like this, and when you take all your heroes, even ones that you barely use, up to 6 and 7, while your main heroes aren't even past that really, and then you leave others that are very important to grow. If you need honor badges, do guild boss. Do guild boss. Ares or Dreaddrake? It depends on the situation, Crazy. Ares for defense, Dreaddrake, or even Ares for attacking. Dreaddrake for defense, for sure. Probably Dreaddrake more than Ares. Crazy. Is Spirit Mage a hero to evolve? If you don't have Minotaur, yes. If you don't have... Okay, so again, Spirit Mage, we're talking... So this is a heavy pay-to-play account. So the advice I'm giving on this account is not the advice I would give to a free-to-play or a just low-level pay-to-play account. So like if you just have Spirit Mage, absolutely evolve your Spirit Mage. But if you've got all the way up to Destroyer, Minotaur, if you've got all the heroes, forget about Spirit Mage. Spirit Mage can be helpful in dungeons, but again, I think there's better heroes to use. Spirit Mage, I think, is only really useful in lava and dungeons. Because you're not going to use Spirit Mage in Here Be Monsters. You're not going to be using Spirit Mage in Lost Realm or pretty much anything except for Mesa and in dungeons. So it's kind of like Santa. You really only use it in dungeons. And, well, you use Santa a little bit in Here Be Monsters if you don't have a full team there. Grimfiend is an absolutely amazingly strong hero, but for the most part, it's a defense hero. So again, you don't really need to pump resources in Demogorgon or in Grimfiend if you're looking at growing your account super fast. If you're trying to get through all the dungeons really quick, you don't want to be pumping resources into Grimfiend. He can be good in Here Be Monsters though. Grimfiend can, absolutely. Does the level matter or just the main talent for Tree? Well, I mean, I think Tree, is it 7 of 10 that you want to get Tree to? You want to get your Tree up to the point where it can revive your whole team. Where's Tree? Let's go take a look. There he is. So 3, 4, 5. So 5 allies, because Tree is your 6th ally. 8. Okay, so level 8. So getting his skill up to... Yeah, Skull Knight 2. He's used a lot, absolutely. So get your Tree up to level 8. He revives 5 allies. You don't need him to revive 6 because he is the 6th, so that's kind of pointless. I don't even understand why they put 6 allies, except for expeditions is the only place really where you have 6 allies. Maybe lava, but I mean it's really kind of pointless. Get him up to level 8, and then having his talent as Revite means that you can drop him and he'll just proc and revive your whole team right away. A 4-5 or a 5-5 Revite. If you don't have any Revite, go with a Revive. And vice versa. Do Revive with Revite Crest Set or Revite with Revive Crest Set. So either way is the way to go with Tree. Best 6-person teams for dungeons. Besides pay-to-play heroes. Okay, but this whole video is about pay-to-play, the low-level pay-to-play accounts. This one's not a free-to-play video. Pets. Don't forget to do your pets. Don't forget to incubate. That's going to be really important that you get your pets going. What game modes are best for DD? Dread Drake is good for pay-to-play modes because he has that auto proc on him. He does, so he'll slow down. So Arena, Lost Battlefield, Lost Realm he's good at. Yeah, instant. You have Revive on Tree and you turn down Revive because of Lost Battlefield and Fortress Feud. You can always do a Revive Crest Set. Don't forget about that. Base designs. I don't know. What bases he has saved on here. So this is Here Be Monsters base, I would assume. Corner bases can be great for Here Be Monsters, absolutely. This is actually the one I preferred for a lot of Here Be Monsters, is this base here. But really, you can use pretty much any bases. Bases are so very individual. I mean, even a lot of bases that work for people 100% of the time don't work for everyone. The short answer is not that I don't know the best heroes for free-to-play. The short answer for free-to-play, or the problem with saying free-to-play for dungeons, is that not all free-to-play has all the free-to-play heroes. And so you end up with this. And a lot of free-to-play players have a lot of pay-to-play heroes. As in, they have the gym-only heroes. So I don't know. Because I can do something like, say, oh, Santa Boom. But then people will be like, but he's not free to play. You can't buy him with shards. So it's really by what your definition is for free to play there. Because I can say Santa Boom, I could say Vlad, I could say Gulam, but then you guys would be like, no, those are pay-to-play heroes. Well, what do you want me to do? Free-to-play heroes like Immortep? I don't understand. Alright, best talents is the question. Best talent for each hero. This account pretty much already has it. Bulwark or War God for Demogorgon, of course. Bulwark or War God for Tread Drake. Revite for Pumpkin Duke or Berserk for Pumpkin Duke. If you're gonna go Berserk, you gotta go 8 of 8. I prefer Revite on Pumpkin Duke. A lot of people will say Berserk. I prefer Revite. I would much rather the faster first proc than the faster third proc, if that makes any sense. Most battles are won after the first or second proc, so there's really kind of no point in getting that super stack that the Berserk Pumpkin Duke can get. Yeah, you'll get a little bit more damage on things like boss, but it really, I mean, a Revite Pumpkin Duke can get the same amount of resources out of a boss as a Berserk Pumpkin Duke, so it's kind of, again, pointless. You spend less fame on Revite, and you get the same basic outcome. I say Revite on Pumpkin Duke over Berserk. War God or Revite Minotaur, of course. If you're going to go War God, go 8 of 8. I think the helpfulness of a Revite Pumpkin Duke is so helpful that it's worth having both. It's worth having the Revite and the War God Pumpkin Duke. Revite is the only way to go with Cupid. If you can't get a Revite, maybe a Revive? I don't know. Same thing with Ares, Revite or Bust. War God or Bulwark for Vlad. I prefer Bulwark over War God in almost every scenario because Bulwark is almost the same amount of damage when maxed, but it is also a holy crap ton more health. So I think the edge goes to Bulwark over War God. Yeah. So take a look at this. This is an 8/8. Bulwark right here increases attack and HP by 60%, whereas the War God is only attack by 90%. So it's 30% less attack, but it's a whole 60% extra health. So I think Bulwark is definitely the answer to go. Santa Boom, same thing. War God, Bulwark. Now, for both Vlad and Santa Boom, it can sometimes be helpful to have a Revite, but we're talking pay-to-play here. This is a pay-to-play account. You can put a Revite crest set on it and be okay. Or you can put a War God on the Bulwark, and you can put a Bulwark on the War God, or Revives, and all of those are good options. Okay, Skull Knight. You have 3 options for Skull Knight that a lot of people like, and they're all really good, but I think one of them is the best and the cheapest. This one is a Deadly Strike Skull Knight. This would be, I think, my number 2 choice. My number 1 choice is, of course, a 5/5 Corrode Skull Knight. Is amazing for a lot of scenarios. Next choice would be the Deadly Strike. I have both a 5 Corrode and an 8 Deadly Strike Skull Knight. I love them both. I use them both. Okay, and then the last choice is a lot of people like doing Life Drain on Skull Knight. I don't think Life Drain is really an option. People who have Life Drain Skull Knight think it's amazing, but honestly, it's probably because they haven't used a Corrode Skull Knight before. And you can put Life Drain Crest set, and it's plenty for Skull Knight. You don't need an 8 of 8 Life Drain Skull Knight. Bulwark for Golem, absolutely. Same thing as Vlad. Bulwark, War God, of course. Sometimes Revite is amazing. All of those are great options. Phantom King. So you see, I've seen some slowdowns. I've seen some Berserks. Both of those are good. I like the Berserk better. He's fast. I think you have to get him to, is it 7 of 8? I think it's the 7 of 8. Berserk is the like sweet spot for Phantom King, I believe. Scatter. A lot of people like Scatter on Bulwark as well, or on Phantom King as well. But I don't know. I think Zerk or Scatter, one of the two there. A lot better than Slowdown, I think. All right, Trixie Tree is, again, I think, a Bulwark hero. A War God hero. Maybe a 4 Revite a 4 Revite, not 5 Revite. You don't want her to proc right away because her skill here removes their buffs. So you want her to proc after them. So definitely, yeah. You play with both Corrode Skull Knight and Scatter Skull Knight and can tell too much of a difference in Guild War, but in 1 versus 1 situations, Scatter is better while Corrode is better for 3+ heroes. Yeah, but I'd say in the majority of the situations, the Corrode will be more useful than the Scatter, because in more situations, Skull Knight is tanking multiple heroes rather than just 1 hero. Alright, Spirit Mage, I used to be huge on Spirit Mage needs 5 Revite, but after Crest came out, after Evos came out, after all of the buffs came out, now it's got to be a War God or a Bulwark. So I used to say Revite because a 9 of 10 or 10 of 10 Spirit Mage used to be able to one-shot the whole team off of just the Revite. But now that you've got Crest, you've got all the health boosts, stuff like that, you really need a Bulwark or a War God if you're going to be playing with Spirit Mage, because otherwise she's just not going to do enough damage. Multanica, Scatter, hands down. A lot of people like Life Drain. I think it's useless because your Golem is going to be able to heal enough. Scatter is way more useful in a lot of situations. Also, a Revite can be useful for pay-to-play aspects, but Scatter will be more useful in way more game modes. Corrode Orcsbane, slow down Orcsbane. Orcsbane is just kind of one of those heroes you're not really going to use much, so no use in even worrying about it too much. Revite or War God, Warlock, those are your only 2 options here. You want the War God for the absolute most amount of damage possible coming out of him. You want the Revite for all the pay-to-play modes. If you can make both, you'll love it. Revite, Revive, we've already talked about. Tree, Revite, Revive in whichever order you can do. Harpy Queen, so this is a Scatter hero, a War God hero, a Bulwark hero, slowdown hero, yes, I think, yeah. Lots of good options here for Harpy Queen, kind of do what you need. Mine was Scatter for the longest time. I don't remember if I switched mine off Scatter or not. But I used Harpy in Here Be Monsters, and she worked great with that Scatter. Artica, definitely kind of a Revite or bust. You can use Scatter for Here Be Monsters, but Revite is really the way to go with Artica. Same thing with Valentina, Revite or bust, no real other options. Grim Fiend, Stone Skin, Bulwark. Those are your 2 main choices there. War God if you can't get the Bulwark, but definitely Stone Skin or Bulwark would be my top 2 choices there. Druid, Berserk is great. Slowdown is great for lower levels. You can use it to because he's ranged. But I think Slowdown is kind of a lower level talent. Not really used for a whole lot. Yeah, so Berserk, I guess. Revite Thunder God used to be absolutely beastly, but you're not going to use that Revite really much anymore for any real situations, so War God or Bulwark. Mine's a 5 Revite too, I feel your pain. Reaper. I mean, what can I say? War God, Bulwark for Guild Wars is really your only real reason you're ever going to use Reaper, so War God or Bulwark. Snowzilla. Do we need to talk about Snowzilla? Do we need it? I mean, it's a Snowzilla. You're gonna use it once for fun, maybe. I don't know. Immortep, War God, Bulwark, just like a Vlad or Golem. Revite Death Knights can be amazing in a lot of scenarios, especially because of that the immune to 1 debuff right there is what you're looking for. Beast Tamer is a Bulwark, Stone Skin, Corrode, War God. Lots of good options on Beast Tamer. I've seen some people with Revives loving it, but I would prefer to do a Revive Crest rather than a main talent because you're losing out on a lot of other stuff. Succubus, I guess War God. Really, Succubus isn't one you're going to worry about on a pay-to-play account. There's the backup. Revite Minotaur, awesome. Revite is really the way to go on Medusa. If you don't have Revite, I would say probably War God or Bulwark. Destroyer, I mean, we all hate destroyers, so whatever. Revite's the way to go on Candy Cane. Candy Cane can be super helpful with a Revite. Not really that helpful with anything else, really. Lady Leo, same thing. Super helpful with Revite, but very, very situational, just like Candy Cane. Paladin. I've seen some amazing Stone Skin Paladins. I've seen some amazing Revite Paladins, but I would never recommend putting a Revite on Paladin. I've never touched my Paladin. I don't think I've ever used my Paladin once other than like the bare minimum of my Fortress feud and I have to throw one single hero out type thing. Ninja, Deadly Strike can be great. Revite can be great. Ninjas can be used for torches. They are super fast. If you're late, like if you show up late to torches, send out your ninjas, send out your Skull Knights, send out your Phantom Kings. They're super fast. What do I think about double evolving a Pally? I'm not going to do it. It's a waste of fame. Champion used to be either Revite or Berserk you needed. You could chain stun boss with a Zerk champion. And that was awesome back in the day. We already talked about Druid, Thunder God. Atlanticor is a Revite or Revive hero in either combo, switch them out, crest, or main talent. I love my main talent Revite 5 Atlanticor. Already talked about them. Already talked. Pixie, War God Bulwark. Siren. I've never used my Siren, so whatever you want. Ooh, there's that 5 Revite Warlock. Look at that. It's a baby Warlock. Baby 5 Revite Warlock. Oh my goodness. What is going on? There's the Corrode Skull Knight. There's the Life Drain Skull Knight. He's got all 3. Look at that. Corrode, Life Drain, and then his main was a Deadly Strike. Oh my goodness. He's got some amazing heroes. There's that Stone Skin Grim Fiend. Drake Axe. Whatever you want, because you're never going to use them. And there we go. I think that's all the heroes. Alright, so we've talked about all the best talents on the heroes. Every time you hear my PC notification, you check your tablet. I'm sorry. Is there anything else we should talk about, guys? What do y'all think? Roll? We're going to be rolling on this account after the update. Trying for the new hero. Do Castle Crisis? Has he already done Castle Crisis? Yeah, he's already done him. I'll do Castle Crisis on my account. Does it matter where pets go, like specific heroes? Not really. I like my Doom Balloon on my Dread Drake because I use my Dread Drake. See, he has his Doom Balloon on his Dread Drake as well. Because Dread Drake I use for like clearing out dead like buildings and stuff, so it kind of is a good combo. Skull Knight with the Celestial Ward can be good because the mini Aggie heals. So since Skull Knight's a tank, that can be helpful that you have your mini Aggie there still alive with them. The Little Havoc does attack damage to nearby heroes, so again, kind of like your main attacking hero, I would put that there, so it makes sense that he has it on his Demogorgon. Draco is kind of the same thing. I don't know, you just put them on the heroes you're using. For whatever game mode you're using, put the pet that corresponds with what you're wanting to do on the heroes you're using. You think I'm going to get a 5 talent chest from Fortress Feud tonight? Hopefully. We got Fortress Feud coming up here in what, an hour? Yeah, in White Knight's main guild. We got it coming up in an hour. I'm excited. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. What's a good Fortress Feud setup? Tree is very helpful for Fortress Feud. I don't know. Did I cover it already? Fortress Feud? No, I didn't really cover Fortress Feud. I'll talk about Fortress Feud tonight on the Fortress Feud video, which will be starting here in about an hour. Pretty much that's it, Omar. If you're looking to get Demogorgon, it's probably going to be the Gem Buyer events. Alright, guys, I'm out. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully that was a little bit of information for the pay-to-play players. I'll probably do a free-to-play edition of this eventually, and we'll go from there. Yes, I will be live streaming the Fortress feud. Don't worry. I'm out, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.